Hello my dear students, welcome back to my channel. In this session, I'll be discussing the last topic of respiration, respiratory quotient. And after completing this topic, I will start with the 12th class syllabus. And before that, I start in today's last part of today's lecture. I'll be giving you the introduction of what all I'm going to discuss in 12th class syllabus. So please watch from beginning to the end. And my request is always any video of mine you should watch from the beginning to the end so that you will have a clear idea of particular topic. My method of discussing is like in a notes form I'm writing. I'm giving each and every point. It will be very useful to you. Suppose you are not able to write any point, you can go back always. I'm neatly presenting it so that you can prepare your own notes and try to learn it. And I definitely feel this type of video is going to help you to the maximum extent. And those who are watching for the first time, please subscribe and see the benefit of it. And share to your friends also so that all students and all your friends will have a maximum benefit. So I'll try to give definitely as much detailed as possible for each and every topic. So first I'm going to complete with all difficult topics in 12th class. Later I come back to the other topics also. So please watch my video very carefully, and if you have anything to ask, any doubts, you can definitely give in the comment box. I'll refer to it and I will answer it. So, but for that, please subscribe my channel so that why subscribing is, I'm not going to get any benefit out of that, but you will get all the notifications immediately once I upload a video. So that is my intention, why I'm asking you to subscribe for each and every time when I record a video. So this is the introduction which I wanted to give. So now let us go into the topic. Let us start with the topic. This is a very small topic, but very, very important topic for NEET point of view. So let us start first with what is the respiratory quotient? Definition of respiratory quotient. A respiratory quotient is, it is a ratio of carbon dioxide liberated to the oxygen consumed. That is, RQ can be written as volume of carbon dioxide liberated by volume of oxygen consumed. And value of RQ depends upon the respiratory substrate, that is which type of respiratory substrate is undergoing oxidation, and it is measured by Genon's respirometer. So now we will discuss about different substances when they undergo oxidation. What should be their RQ value? So first we will start with the carbohydrates. Carbohydrates always, the RQ value of carbohydrates is 1. They undergo complete oxidation, that is aerobic respiration. When they undergo aerobic respiration, we find 1 glucose molecule requires 6 oxygen molecules and 6 water molecules, and it undergoes complete oxidation to liberate 6 molecules of carbon dioxide and 12 molecules of water plus energy. This is the complete oxidation, or it is aerobic respiration. So here we can calculate RQ is equal to 6 by 6, that is 6 carbon dioxide by 6 oxygen. We can also understand this in another way. Suppose we observe the glucose molecule. How many carbon and oxygen do you find in glucose molecule? In glucose molecule we find 6 carbon and 6 oxygen. That means carbon to oxygen ratio. This is one very important point. Try to remember it. Carbon to oxygen ratio, that is C by O. Carbon to oxygen ratio here is equal to 1. That means both are equal. Carbon and oxygen both are equal in number. That's why the carbohydrate has only 1 as respiratory quotient. That is the carbohydrate. I hope you have understood the reasoning also. Why it is 1? Because in glucose molecule, carbon and oxygen is, they are same number of atoms are present. Taking this point, we are going to compare for the other substrate also. Now let us see the second one, that is fats and oils. If we take fats and oils, we find RQ value is 0.7 or always less than 1. 0.7 or always less than 1. So one example of tripalmitin you will find here. In tripalmitin we find C51H98O6, 2 molecules of this, 145 of oxygen, 145 of oxygen. This will give, here I have to make a correction, this is an arrow. This will give 102 carbon dioxide plus 98 water molecules plus energy. So here we find oxygen consumed is more and carbon dioxide liberated is less. So when we find RQ 102 by 145, we get 0.7. And like the first reasoning we have done, in tripalmitin molecule, if we observe, there are 51 carbon molecules and only 6 oxygen. So oxygen is much less than carbon molecule. Oxygen is much less than the carbon molecule. So since oxygen is much less than the carbon molecule, it requires more oxygen for its oxidation. That's why oxygen required is more here. That is the reasoning you have to give. Similarly, for other fats or oils also, we find always it is less than 1. Now next, if we take proteins. Proteins also we find when they undergo oxidation, it is either 0.8 or 0.9 or less than 1. So both fats and proteins, they contain very little oxygen in them, in the molecules. That's why they require more oxygen for the oxidation. Now let us take the next one, that is organic acid. In organic acid, we find RQ value is always more than 1. More than 1. Like for example, we start with malic acid. Here RQ value is 1.33. Let us understand by the equation given. C4H6O5, this is malic acid, plus 3 oxygen molecules. It liberates 4 carbon dioxide plus 3 water plus energy. So when we divide 4 carbon dioxide by 3 oxygen, we get RQ value as 1.33. This is for malic acid. Let us see other examples of organic acid also. Let us take the next one, that is oxalic acid. Here RQ value is 4. So 2 molecules of oxalic acid plus oxygen will give 4 carbon dioxide and 2 water molecules plus energy. So here carbon dioxide is 4 by oxygen 1. So RQ value is 4. Next, tartaric acid, we find RQ value 1.6. So C4H6O6, that is the formula for tartaric acid, plus 5 oxygen plus it requires, when they undergo oxidation, it liberates 8 carbon dioxide plus 6 water molecules. So RQ value is equal to 8 carbon dioxide by 5, that is equal to 1.6. So here it is 1.6. So as I referred earlier, for organic acids, RQ value is always more than 1. Now what is the reason we can give? How we can say that RQ value is more than 1? Suppose we get any reason, we have to identify any reason. What can we give? Why it is more than 1? Here we can clearly observe in any formula we find in the molecule, the oxygen is always more than the carbon. So what is the reason we can give? Why it is more than 1? Oxygen atoms are more than carbon atoms present. More than carbon atoms present. That means if we take our oxygen, carbon to oxygen ratio, say C by O ratio. C by O ratio if we take, that is 4 by 6, it is less than 1. C by O ratio will be less than 1 in case of organic acid. But suppose if we take in case of fats, oxygen is very less. So C by O ratio will be more than 1. This is for organic acids. So I will write it here. For fats, if we take C by O ratio, that is carbon to oxygen ratio in fats, it is more than 1. So try to understand clearly RQ value. What is RQ value? What is carbon to oxygen? I am not telling about carbon dioxide to oxygen. It is carbon to oxygen atoms within one molecule. So if we take carbon to oxygen within one molecule, carbohydrates it is 1. Fats it is more than 1. Organic acids it is less than 1. This I am going to write towards the end also. Now let us see the next one, that is succulents. You know succulents are xerophytes and they store lot of water in their different plant parts, mostly leaves or stem, during favorable season. And this water they utilize during unfavorable season. That is one important feature. Another important feature of succulents is their stomata open only during night time. And during night time they store lot of acids in their vacuoles and they show CAM pathway, CAM pathway. That is crassulacean acid metabolic pathway, which I discussed earlier in my earlier videos. You should refer to that. So succulents follow CAM pathway, crassulacean acid metabolic pathway. In succulents, we find RQ is equal to 0. Why it is 0 is here incomplete oxidation of carbohydrates take place. Oxygen is absorbed but carbon dioxide is not liberated. And any other intermediates are produced. Not carbon dioxide but other any intermediates are produced. So like for example of succulents is Opuntia. So here the equation if we observe for succulents, this is the glucose molecule. 2 molecules of glucose and 3 molecules of oxygen will give malic acid. 3 molecules of malic acid and water molecule. Here we can find carbon dioxide is not liberated. So when we calculate RQ, we have to give 0 by 3. In place of carbon dioxide, it is 0. Oxygen, it is 3. So therefore, RQ value is 0. That is for the succulents. Okay, now let us see next one. In case of anaerobic respiration, what happens in anaerobic respiration? Anaerobic respiration, you know, it takes place in the absence of oxygen. Here carbon dioxide is evolved but oxygen is not consumed. Oxygen is not required. So oxygen is 0. So therefore RQ value here is infinity. It is infinite value, infinity. So this is the overall equation. Glucose molecule, in absence of oxygen, it will give 2 molecules of ethyl alcohol and 2 molecules of carbon dioxide plus energy. So here RQ value can be calculated by 2 by 0. 2 indicates the carbon dioxide and no oxygen. So 2 by 0, that is infinity. Now let us see the next one, that is lactic acid. The last one here, that is lactic acid. Lactic acid undergoes fermentation, anaerobic respiration. Lactic acid. But here carbon dioxide is not liberated. Carbon dioxide is not liberated. Oxygen is not consumed because it is anaerobic respiration. Carbon dioxide is also not liberated. Both are 0. So 0 by 0. If we take 0 by 0 here, we are going to get 0. So RQ value in case of lactic acid, which is an exception, it is a 0. Now, here I will summarize before I discuss the significance. What I wanted to just summarize is the little bit elaboration about what is the carbon and oxygen ratio. I hope it is clear. What is the carbon and oxygen ratio? The meaning of carbon and oxygen ratio is the carbon and oxygen atoms present in molecule. Suppose we take glucose molecule. We write it as C6H12O6. Here we find both carbon and oxygen is same. So here we find carbon to oxygen ratio, that is 6/6, that is equal to 1. This is in case of carbohydrates. In case of carbohydrates, that is aerobic respiration. If we consider aerobic respiration. Suppose we take fats. In fats we find like trimethylpalmitin, C51, H98 and O6. So here we find carbon to oxygen ratio. How do we calculate here? Carbon to oxygen ratio. We calculate it as 51 divided by 6. If we divide 51 by 6, we may get around, say, around 8 point something we may get. So that means here in unity if we have to give, we can give it is more than 1. Carbon to oxygen ratio is more than 1. Always remember we have to give the values in terms of unity. Unity means in terms of 1. Similarly, if we take proteins also, in proteins also we find carbon to oxygen ratio. This will be more than 1. But suppose we find in case of organic acids, you take any organic acid, like we have done malic acid or tartaric acid or any other organic acid. So in organic acid like malic acid, we find C4, like malic acid we find C4, H5 and O6. Say in case of malic acid. So here we find oxygen is more than carbon. So suppose we take carbon to oxygen ratio. What is carbon here? 4. By oxygen is 6. 4 by 6 will be equal to how much? It is always less than 1. So here it is, we find more than 1. And in organic acids, we find it is less than 1. These are the reasons to say why the RQ value, the value depending what is the RQ value, reasoning for RQ value. Why we have done all this is it is the reasoning for RQ value. That is why it is less than 1 in case of fat. Suppose you get a question on why in fats the RQ value is less than 1. Then what you can give the other reason? In fats, carbon to oxygen ratio is more than 1. That's why their RQ value is less than 1. Organic acids we find RQ value is more than 1. Just the reverse. So what is the reasoning? Carbon to oxygen ratio is less than 1. In case of carbohydrates, RQ value is 1. Carbon to oxygen ratio is also 1. So these are the reasoning why for the RQ values. Just observe that, go through it. And this information will not be given in any book. Some information which I am explaining, taking an extra sheet, extra paper separately, these will not be given in any textbook, but reasoning you have to understand. So those who are following the video from the beginning to end, you will find some more such reasonings and very explanatory points in the video. So you have to observe, watch from the beginning to the end and make a note of it. Try to understand. Okay. Now the last part of the topic is what is the significance of respiratory quotient? What is its importance? So first importance, it gives an idea about nature of substrate undergoing oxidation. That is whether it's a carbohydrate or is it a protein or a fat, which type of substrate is undergoing oxidation. Second one, it helps in knowing type of respiration performed, whether it is an aerobic or anaerobic respiration or what type of respiration or whether it is in a succulent or which type of respiration. Third one, it gives information about major transformation of food material. Major transformation means breakdown of food material. Like fats can be broken down into fatty acids and glycerol. Carbohydrates are broken down into carbon dioxide and water. Or there is a formation of ethyl alcohol. So which type of transformation of food material is taking place? That is explained by RQ. And last point, the highest rate of respiration during fruit ripening. That is called as a climacteric. I have just written beside. That is called as a climacteric. The word climacteric or climacteric fruits are given for those where there is a highest rate of respiration during fruit ripening. Always we find fruit ripening there is a highest rate. So respiratory rate increases during fruit ripening. That results in actually the ripening process. And that increased rate of respiration during fruit ripening, that is named as climacteric. Like highest rate of respiration or climacteric response is found in apple. So with this, children, I conclude this video. We complete this topic, and in my next videos, I am going to start with 12th class portion. 12th class portion, what I feel according to me, there are some very important topics which need a very detailed explanation. It is not a superficial explanation which is required. So I'm going to start with sexual reproduction in plants. I'll pick up some important points, topics from that, and then I'm going to discuss it very, very thoroughly. After that, I will discuss some topics in genetics, and then molecular basis of inheritance, biotechnology, the two topics. So in my upcoming videos, first we are going to complete this. And so keep following my videos, and if you have not yet subscribed my channel, subscribe my channel, get the maximum benefit. All this I am doing to help you people because of my passion for teaching, and I am still teaching, I am still working as a lecturer. So it's like a passion, I have a passion for teaching. So I want to upload videos, and so it should be benefit to the students who are studying anywhere in our country, or by God's grace anywhere in the world. If they are watching, I'll be very happy if they are getting benefited. So that's all for now, children. Thank you very much. Have a good day.